I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
In the aftermath of a child's murder, families seek justice and closure. But what happens when the perpetrator shows no remorse?
You have to ask yourself why that is, because I want you to know the actual facts. I did kill Kenyatta Barron.
I'm innocent. You all, you're garbage. That's the way you're.
The absence of remorse can be just as chilling as the crime itself. When adults who kill children display a lack of regret, it raises questions about their humanity.
Understanding to get a trial is to get to the truth, right? I'm already saying that I did it. I'm freely giving myself and accepting life in prison. I'm happily saying life in prison. If you had death penalty, I would take that. I don't care.
You had put cigarettes out on this poor little child.
Man, I ain't gonna let you sit here and say no crazy shit about me, man. He's saying he don't even know, man.
Sir, the testimony showed that you put this child and other child in a...
The courtroom is where justice is served, but for families of child victims, it's often a painful reminder of the loss they've endured. This is 5 times a child killer showed no remorse in court. This is Ronnie O'Neal, who is on trial for double murder in Florida.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
According to report, 29-year-old O'Neal fatally shot his then-girlfriend, Kenyatta Barron, in 2018 before hacking their 9-year-old daughter to death with a hatchet. O'Neal also stabbed their 8-year-old son before pouring gasoline all over the house and set the house on fire. O'Neal was arrested as he fled from the burning house. His son was able to escape, but he suffered critical stab wounds and burns. The first 911 call that night came from Barron. She was heard screaming before suddenly hanging up. 8 minutes later, another call came in from O'Neal.
Hey, I just been attacked by some white demons inside Kiki. Kiki, her name is Kiki, and she tried to kill me.
After his arrest, O'Neal was psychologically cleared to represent himself in court.
Why didn't you play the regular recording that people can understand what the call was saying?
At his trial, O'Neal cross-examined his now 11-year-old son, whom he had stabbed, to which his son explained everything that happened that night.
I just saw my dad holding a shotgun and my mom, and mom screaming at him.
Did he do something to your sister?
Yes, he hit her with an axe. And then he went in the garage, I followed him. He put me on the ground, and then he had his foot on top. I was laying on my stomach, he had his foot on top of me, and he was holding me down.
How you doing, Ronnie?
Good.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Did I hurt you that night of this incident?
Yes.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
O'Neal accused the persecution of fabricating evidence before finally confessing to the murders.
By the time it's all said and done, you will see who is the mass murderers in Tampa Bay, the state of Florida. You will know why what occurred on March 18, 2018 occurred. And the evidence is going to show that law enforcement tampered with evidence to meet their such high burden of proof that we are under some of the most vicious. You have to ask yourself why that is, because I want you to know the actual facts. I did kill Kenyatta Barron.
The jury found him guilty of first-degree murder.
We, the jury, find as follows as account 2 of the charge. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder, premeditated murder, and felony murder.
At his sentencing, O'Neal showed no remorse for his actions.
I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
19 years I've been at this job. I've seen human beings killed at the hands of others in every way imaginable. You name it, I've seen it. This is the worst case I've ever seen. I know I will be. For the rest of my life, I'll be haunted by what I saw as far as the evidence.
O'Neal was sentenced to 3 life term without parole, plus 90 years.
Man, I ain't gonna let you sit here and say no crazy shit about me, man.
This is Elis Ortiz-Neves, who is on trial for murder. On June 13, 2017, 25-year-old Ortiz was babysitting his girlfriend's 7 children when one of them allegedly stopped breathing. When police arrived, they found cigarette marks and other injuries all over the body of his girlfriend's 4-year-old son, Giovanni. Ortiz was arrested and sent to trial. During his trial, his girlfriend testified in his defense. According to her, her older son bullied Giovanni to death.
Sock him, push him. He was just mean to him.
But according to an investigator, Giovanni was brutally beaten by an adult.
The degree and the location and the number of injuries was remarkable. In my opinion, this injury is inflicted with blunt force from an adult individual.
Eventually, Ortiz was convicted of felony murder. He maintained his innocence at sentencing. He even offered to sit for a lie detector test.
I'm going to continue to say I will take a lie detector test to prove that I never abused any of Sonia's kids or never abused Giovanni and never intentionally meant to hurt Giovanni but to help him.
But Judge Mark Trussick wasn't buying it.
You can claim your innocence, but I sat over this trial and I carefully listened to all the testimony, and the jury verdict was clearly correct in this matter. There is no question whatsoever that you committed this murder and that you beat this little boy to death. You had put cigarettes out on this poor little child. There was evidence of that from the pictures. This is one of the most disgusting trials that I ever had to sit through.
At this point, things got crazy.
The bruises, some of the bruises were in the shape of a belt buckle.
Man, I ain't gonna let you sit here and say no crazy shit about me, man. No, man, because he's saying shit he don't even know, man.
Sir?
As Judge Mark Trussick continued with his remark, Ortiz exploded.
The testimony showed that you put this child and other child in a shower with ice cold water. Anybody says anything back there?
When the dust settles, Ortiz was brought back into the courtroom to complete his sentence.
This is a 4-year-old child that was victimized. There is no question in my mind, sir, that you did this. You are the lowest form of human life that I've been able to observe or see. You are a monster, and quite frankly, you are evil.
Ortiz was eventually sentenced to life in prison without parole. It was later discovered that Sonia, Ortiz's girlfriend and Giovanni's mother, had prior knowledge of Giovanni's abuse.
Sonia was well aware. She was well aware of what was happening because she told him that was his responsibility to whoop them.
6 months later, Sonia pleads guilty to second-degree child abuse and perjury in court.
My first charge is perjury. I lied under oath for a man who I thought loved and cared for me. My second is failure to protect my children and blaming a sibling on a sibling. Your Honor, signing my rights off was the hardest and most difficult decision I had to make. Your Honor, what you decide to give me is nothing compared to what I have been through. I wanted to apologize to my family, my children, my lawyer, and the courts. Thank you, Your Honor.
She was sentenced to 57 months to 10 years in prison.
Looks like blood in there.
It's not blood, it's deer meat. I had a big bag of...
This is Jaleesa Toller, accused of murdering her son in Minnesota.
I'm innocent. You all, you're garbage. That's the way you're...
According to report, Toller was involved in a heated custody battle with her ex-husband, Torrey Hart, over their 6-year-old son Eli. Even though Toller had a history of mental illness and drug abuse, she was granted Eli's custody. 5 months later, Toller was pulled over by the police for driving a car with smashed windows.
There is no tire there. All right.
I have a broken windshield and I'm missing a tire because some kids were shooting at my car.
There's what?
There's blood all over the car.
Shotgun shells all over the side.
Police also found blood in her car, which she claimed to be that of deer meat.
Looks like blood in there.
It's not blood, it's deer meat. I had a big bag of... there's a farm around here that does deer meat and hamburger.
But upon opening the trunk, they made a horrific discovery.
Holy... we got a body. Yeah. All right, let's cover it.
Yep.
It was the body of young Eli, shot 9 times with a shotgun. Toller was arrested. Prior to Eli's murder, Toller has made some disturbing Google searches, including how much blood can a 6-year-old lose, and how much does life insurance pay for a dead child. Eventually, Toller was convicted of first-degree murder. At her sentencing, Toller was totally unapologetic.
I would like to say something. Go ahead. I'm innocent. You all, you're garbage. That's the way you're...
Eventually, she was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Meet Mitchell Blair, mother of 4, accused of murder and child abuse.
You pathetic ass bitch, and he's a drunk.
In 2014, Blair allegedly tortured and killed 2 of her children at her apartment. Shockingly, she continued to live with the dead bodies along with her 2 remaining kids. Until 2 years when an eviction crew arrived to throw her out and discovered the bodies of 13-year-old Stoney Blair and 9-year-old Stephen Barry stored in a freezer. Blair was arrested and charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder and first-degree child abuse. Before going to trial, Blair appeared at a custody hearing of her 2 surviving children.
Never. You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand the whole crew here now, but y'all was never there for them. How many birthdays did you miss? It's like a damn fool y'all putting on that show.
Step out here for me. You gotta
step. My kids. You pathetic ass bitch, and he's a drunk.
During the hearing, Blair repeatedly exploded at the 2 fathers of her kids.
The allegations against my client, Mr. Berry, are failure to protect and abandonment.
And never be in there. Oh, it's kids.
Mother,
she was always on site,
right? Mother, listen to me.
I had to beg you to come see me. You be for real?
Mother, listen to me.
No matter how much you lie or how your lawyers lie, you know the truth, and it will be proved. Matthew and Gabby will clearly say.
The judge tried to defuse the situation, but an enraged Blair was having none of it.
Listen to me. This is a civil case. It's not a criminal case. We can and we will do it without you.
I never tried to say I didn't. I did it, but that does not negate the fact that they were never there for their children. I had to struggle with them all the time. They were never there.
You get
Stephen,
your chance.
You know we had to beg you. Me, Stephen, all of us used to cry for you.
As she was being removed from the courtroom, Blair dropped a bombshell.
Stephen. You. Everybody want to know? Yes, I did kill her.
Eventually, Blair pleaded guilty to old charges and asked for life imprisonment.
Understanding to get a trial is to get to the truth, right? I'm already saying that I did it. I'm freely giving myself and accepting life in prison. I'm happily saying life in prison. If you had a death penalty, I would take that. I don't care.
She believed her teenage daughter and 9-year-old son were sexually abusing her youngest child, Matthew.
What did you do to Stony Blair that makes you guilty of premeditated murder?
She my son. I intentionally killed her.
The killer mom then went into gruesome details of how she tortured and ultimately killed Stoney and Stephen.
I assaulted her every time he told me what she did to him. By assault, I mean I punched her. I have put a bag over her head till she lost consciousness. I threw hot water on her, scalding hot water from the faucet.
Did you hit her in the head with a wooden stick?
Yes, I hit her on her head multiple times, over and over. I hit her on her back. It's like on her tailbone. I kicked her.
All right, tell me what happened to Stephen.
Basically the same thing. I put a bag over his head. He lost consciousness. I did that a couple times. So I grabbed Stephen, I grabbed a belt, and I put a belt around his neck, and I lifted him up. Like, do you like how this feels, being choked with a belt? So I dropped him. I held him up until he lost consciousness as well.
Did you also punch him?
Yes, I did. Multiple
also kick
times.
him?
Yes, I did.
You talked about choking him. Did you also burn him?
Yes, I did.
Okay, how did you do that?
Hot water, scalding hot water. I threw hot water in his area multiple times. Multiple times.
Before announcing her sentence, Judge Dana Hathaway had some words for her.
As a mother, one of your primary responsibilities was to protect your kids. And in that respect, you failed in the worst possible way. You're therefore sentenced to the Michigan Department of Corrections for the rest of your life without the possibility of parole, meaning, of course, that you will never get out.
Blair was eventually sentenced to life in prison without parole.
This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. I will not accept the recommendation for Mr. Rodriguez.
Meet Larissa and Christopher Rodriguez, accused of child murder in Cleveland, Ohio.
It was Christopher's idea to bury your son in the backyard?
It was my idea, and he just did it.
In 2017, Christopher arrived at his girlfriend Larissa's home with her 5-year-old son, Jordan, in a semi-conscious state. Instead of getting medical help, Larissa gave the child with special needs a cold shower and put him to bed. Tragically, Jordan died the next day. Instead of calling 911, the couple buried the child in Larissa's backyard. 2 months later, authorities received a tip from Christopher's brother.
He told me that something happened with one of the kids. They didn't call the cops. Him and his girlfriend buried the kid in the backyard.
Shortly after, the police arrived at Larissa's home.
Are your kids here? You mind if you step in? Well, we got a call want us to check on the well-being of the 5-year-old, 4 to 5-year-old kid.
How many kids are good?
Okay. What can we see? Do you have a child with special needs?
Oh, Jordan? Yes, I do.
How old is Jordan?
Jordan, he is just turned 5.
Where's Jordan at?
He's with his dad. He's going to be visiting for the holiday. He's not here with us right now.
Larissa lied to police that Jordan was in Texas with his father and conveniently couldn't provide a phone number to get in touch.
So Jordan has family members in Texas?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Do you know any numbers or how to get in touch with anybody who actually lives in Texas?
I mean, right now, his phone just got disconnected.
What's his address?
I'm waiting for him to call me.
What's his address?
I don't know.
You just didn't send the kid to who knows who, right?
I mean, no. I don't know the address personally because me and his dad don't really associate like that.
But you let him go with him, right?
Right. He just had his phone disconnected. He's going to be calling me with the phone.
However, when police searched the backyard, they found Jordan's body. When brought in for questioning, the evil mom confessed.
It was Christopher's idea to bury your son in the backyard?
It was my idea, and he just did it.
She also said Christopher often abused Jordan.
Did he actually physically abuse him? Did you see him?
A few times that I've seen, yes.
Larissa and Christopher were arrested and charged with Jordan's murder. The couple took a plea deal, reducing their murder charges to involuntary manslaughter and child abuse. During sentencing, Larissa's fate was first announced.
The court imposed a sentence as follows. Counts 1, 2, and 3 to be served consecutive to each other and concurrent to the sentence imposed in count 5 for a total sentence of 25 years.
Before sentencing Christopher, the judge Nancy Margaret Russo became emotional.
And I look at these photographs, and it's very hard. And Mr. Rodriguez, this is a horror. I know as a judge I'm not supposed to show emotion. And in 22 years, I never have.
Shockingly, Judge Russo refused to accept Christopher's recommended sentence and gave him the maximum punishment.
This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Whatever this child's life was supposed to be, you make sure it didn't happen. I didn't even hear you say you were sorry. I will not accept the recommendation for Mr. Rodriguez. You had every opportunity at so many points to make a difference, to get help, to stop beating somebody, to call the police, to ask for help, to try to take him to the hospital. I have to imagine that at some point you got on the internet and said, how do I bury a body? Because this is unbelievable to me. The level of meticulousness that you went through to not be discovered. I honestly don't know how you live with yourself. Your sentence is follows. 1 year in prison, all counts to be served consecutive to each other with credit for any time served. That's a total sentence of 28 years.
If you find this video enlightening, kindly give it a thumbs up and subscribe.